Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today I'm going to be reviewing an animated movie, and I've been reviewing a lot of animated movies anyway, so here we are. And okay, talking about animated movies to be more exact, but I just figured I'll just do this. Talking about How to Train Your Dragon, the first entry of the three movies, of course. And this was requested by this one YouTuber who wants me to review all three of them, which, of course, I will review the other two after this, of course, and as soon as I can anyway. But yeah, there might be a fourth movie in the works from what I heard, so I'll get to that one whenever, I guess. And this is coming from DreamWorks, of course, which I don't review from often, really. I did talk about them a while back. But like I said, even then, it was not that often, really. But anyway, I will review the other two as well because when it comes to franchises, as I said before, I will review, if I review one entry of the series, I will review them all, unless there's like a specific reason not to. But that's like the general rule of thumb. If I review one, I might as well go for the rest. Anyway, nonetheless, as usual, let's talk about the plot, shall we? So let's just dive right into it. Here we go. The overall plot line of this movie is fairly straightforward, I guess you can say. It's pretty much about this young and experienced son, whom is pretty much seeking approval of a strong father. And yeah, this is pretty much like an old type of story, of course. The main character, needs to get some training and whatnot. Yeah, the father character and there's this chief of Vikings, and he does have this young son, whom is small and can be pretty slick and a sarcastic talker, and who doesn't take orders quite well. But he does seek approval and respect from his very impressive father, I guess you can say. As far as his father will not let his son be a warrior or Viking. He doesn't need experience, I guess, because of that. But of course, the thing is that, of course, he has something needs to occur. Of course, in the story, But hey, judging from the fact that this is an adventure movie, of course, he has to have his own adventure. Of course, so he has to go and just do his thing. Obviously. By the way, this film is supposed to be based upon, well, I guess loosely based upon, on the 2003 book of the same name, which I have not read, by the way, so I don't know if it's faithful, if at all, to the source material, or if barely. Just let you know, folks. But anyway, obviously, this story does take place in this mythical Viking world where this young teenager is pretty much aspires to follow his tribe's tradition of become a dragon slayer. But the thing is that he does become friends with this dragon, of course, be friends with him, of course, and whatnot. And that alone could be, an issue. So this happens after the fact that after pretty much capturing his first dragon, his kind, sweet dragon known as Night Fury, and with his chance of lasting like his last chance of gaining the tribe's acceptance, he finds out that he no longer wants to kill the dragon and instead befriends it, like I was saying, and names him Toothless, of course. So that's pretty much the general idea of what's going on, of course, and whatnot. So yeah, it gets pretty crazy in his own little way, obviously. Blondie over here, folks, who of course will have an important role in the overall grand scheme of the story. So, yeah, a lot of the animated films I've watched and reviewed that tend to have female characters that are important in one way or another, in one shape or another, I guess. Which is fine, I suppose, of course. So there's that. And yeah, they could have easily done this like an angry feminist kind of a thing, like a feminist Nazi, and just trying to say, oh, all men are terrible. But thankfully, they didn't do that. Thankfully, they did not do that at all. Oh boy. But anyway, yeah, the characters are treated with respect, regardless of gender. And yeah, of course, yeah, things are not easy as at first, of course, but I guess you have to prove that you're worthy. to be your friend and whatnot. So yeah, this is definitely something to be spoken about. This film did become one of the highest grossing films for DreamWorks. So yes, right behind the Shrek movies. So yes, these films, How to Train Your Dragon series, became really successful for the company. So yeah, I don't blame him for wanting to do sequels, of course. As for the animation in the first How to Train Your Dragon, it is very colorful. The landscapes are nicely rendered, and the facial expressions are really realistic considering the art style that they have, of course. And yes, there's a sense of comedy throughout the entire thing, but at the same time, there's some drama as well. So there's it's pretty good balance of both, folks. As for the voice acting is really good as well. The voice acting has a lot of energy, of course, throughout the entire thing. And like I said, there's some drama and some good slapstick humor throughout the entire thing. So yeah, overall, it's pretty good. I did like what they were going for, of course. Why I'm not the biggest fan of DreamWorks, as if that wasn't obvious enough, because I don't talk about their movies all that often, really. But for what it's worth, this is definitely really good, and I can say I liked it. And also having the female character need some help from the male character. I know a lot of people say that, oh, she's a dancer in distress, but no, it really isn't, folks. So there's nothing inherently wrong with wanting to have a female character needing some help. It just depends on the delivery. It's fine the way it is. She's never looked weak. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with wanting to ask for help at all. And not once have I ever looked at her as weak, because she isn't. Point being is that all these characters, regardless of gender, are well written. And while the premise of the film isn't exactly the most original thing ever, but again, for what it's worth, it's definitely well done. The dialogue is nicely scripted, the characters do have their own personalities, and overall, I can definitely say that this movie is a treatment. It's definitely a good movie. And what matters is the execution, I guess you can say, and the music that's provided for this movie also helps it to make it exciting, to make it fun, and overall a really good treat for the viewers. So I'll definitely say it's good. So yeah, the soundtrack is also worthy of mentioning because it does capture the environment perfectly in which he was trying to go for, and making it seem really epic and larger than life kind of a feel. So I can't really get mad at the movie really because it does what it's supposed to. It does, and it does it rather well. So yeah, this movie's enjoyable, of course. And there's also a video game based off of this, which I've never played. If I'm be honest here. There's also a 3D version, which I never watched really. I didn't watch that specific version of the film. All right, and I guess in closing comments is that it's not bad. No, it's far from a bad movie. So I'll give this film an overall rating of a 7.1 out of 10. It gets a 7.1 out of 10 for me. As always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see you.